Hey, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Just real quick for people in my group, though I am promoting this outside of my group. Nobody should be inviting anybody into my group. Here's the thing. There are people on my Facebook that have been on my page that I see quite often that I know, or they may have bought the book, but I don't know. They may have gotten the ebook from way back when, I don't know. They're not, they're not totally like super, I don't know, wanting to get into the group or want to send me a receipt, which is fine or whatever. But I have invited a few people who haven't gotten the book because they've been on my Facebook for a while and they're doing the juice and okay. Because here's the thing, no matter what, the book is there to help you. The book is there to give you guidelines, okay? The book is there to give you guidelines on what it is that you need to do. Now, I know it has the pink salt in there. I know it has the distilled water or some other stuff. The book needs to be updated, fine. They can get the updates when they get into the group. But I got to know how serious some of you are. Some of you are inviting friends, and I have no idea who they are. If I've interacted with you on Facebook and I know you're doing the juice, and I don't know, maybe you live in a place where it's Timbuktu. Hello, Sumo, where it's in Timbuktu and it's just not really feasible, but you're really actively joining in and you're asking questions, and I've had an interaction with you on some level. I'm not going to feel too bad inviting you because I know you're pretty well versed in this. Okay. Some of you are pretty, active, whatever. But I just don't know to the level of where you guys are on this. And so the book is there as your guideline. Now there's going to be updates to the book that I'm going to be doing with the new book coming up. That's going to have the white salt. It's going to have everything I've been talking about as far as the biodiversity and viruses and bacteria and protozoa and all that stuff, and how that has actually built man up. But if you are interested in doing the protocol and implementing the protocol, not just exploring it, not being a looky-loo, but if you are actually interested in doing the protocol, you would get the book, especially if you're new. So anyone that's in my group should not be inviting anybody. If I invite you and you haven't gotten the book, but you're part of my world, you're seeing what's going on, and I think that you're a candidate for the group because I think that you're going to do it, you're not going to undermine the group in any way, I might invite you without any receipt. But it takes a while for that, if that even happens at all. Okay? Because still, I need to know that people are actually getting the right information. They're actually wanting to do it. And they'll get any updates in my group as far as anything that's different. It's in the book. Because no matter what, the book's going to give you the guidelines. Even though some of the recipe ingredients have changed, it hasn't really changed. We went from the pink salt to the white table salt, and you don't have to use distilled water or reverse osmosis water or filtered water. You can use tap water. But if you live in like Flint, Michigan, where they have really bad water, then use whatever water that you have available. But there's no reason to distill your water, and there's no reason to use organic food. Nope, Patrick, you just got to get the book. Just get the book. If you get the book, then send me the receipt because you are new. I don't mind people liking my stuff, but I still don't know you. And I got to know that if people are on my page and they've been on my page for a while, then I know who you are. But if you're new, no. Because, it's like an earned thing. You got to be on my page for a while doing it. And, and that's the thing is that I got to know who people are. I don't know one guy from the next. But I have developed relationships with a lot of you that have been on my page for a while. Okay. So yeah, send me the receipt. Yeah, because that's all I ask is send me the receipt of the book. I'm not trying to keep everybody out, but there's something that and I'll be honest, yeah, there's people that I've invited to the group that I know I didn't get the book because for whatever reason, or they did or they didn't. But I don't want people inviting people that haven't, because I don't know. I mean, if you have a friend, if you're in my group and you have a friend and I want to invite and I don't know who they are, they should send me the receipt. And I've made that very clear in the group. If you're going to invite anybody into the group, they have to send me a receipt. Okay? If I invite somebody, it's because I feel in my power they are a candidate because they've been on my page forever, and I'm not going to chase them down for receipt because, you know, who knows what their situation is. I'm not going to go and figure out and make them wrong. Okay. So it is what it is, and who knows what their situation is. And I'm not going to assume it's the worst. I'm not going to make them wrong. But if I see that they're, you know, they're whatever, then I'll do this. But yeah, just send me the receipt, Patrick. You're already a friend of mine, so it'll be pretty easy for you to get into the group. Okay, and it's only $9 for the ebook. It's not like, you know, if people really want to be all like, you know, whatever, they can buy the book and return it. I mean, fuck, whatever. But if you can take the time to get the book and put all that information in, and you are who you say you are, then you might as well just get it and read it, because you're going to have to anyways. If you don't really know, if you know what this stuff is, then don't worry about it. But let me tell you, my next book is going to be really awesome. Okay? And since you're already in the group, it's then the next book is you can get it or you don't have to. But I got to see that at least you have the basics, the foundation. Because I do have a lot of the stuff in the group. I mean, there is a video that's on YouTube that everybody can get. If you go through I have like hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos that you have to wade through to find how to make the recipe. And it's a lot of YouTube videos. But we do have it isolated in the group on how to make it, and it showing you how to make it. So you're going to get a lot of instructional in the group as far as the videos that are very pertinent to somebody that is super serious on making this. There's the diet that's in the group that's also in the book. There is the, you know, as far as the healing symptoms, it may not be, it may or may, I don't think it's in there, but that's everything that you've ever dealt with in your life from past, present, and future. And I don't know your medical history, so this is what you're going to have to figure out is, you know, if you had major drug use and you've had major PTSD and major this, major that, then you're going to have to revisit all of that when you're on the protocol. I mean, today I just did like a quart of my juice. It's not pink salt, it's a white salt. Whoo! I mean, it was amazing. It was like a whole energy thing. And, you know, and I did take a nap today, had a little bit of a headache today. But it, you know, who knows, the next level of healing is for all of you. So I just know that my system is already, even with the pink salt, my system is changing because I really just downed a lot of my pink juice. But since we've switched from the pink to the white salt, I would imagine that things are going to be a lot more quicker in all of your healing process, because yeah, you're getting your minerals from the air, food, and water. Okay, so you don't need to have the amount of minerals that are in the pink salt. And there is articles that say that there really isn't a huge difference as far as sodium. However, you got to deal with all the minerals. So even though you may get sodium, you got to deal with the minerals. And if you already have a heavy metal toxicity or heavy metal imbalance, and you're taking all these heavy metals in the pink salt, then it's going to, you know, it's going to be harder to wade through. And that's why some of us have plateaued. So I'm just going to do what I do, write my book, still, you know, drink my coffee. I'm pretty much healed and sealed relatively. Those of you, you're still just starting. Okay. You know, and I'm just going to just do what I do. And I feel that much more protected with the white salt, especially since now this coronavirus, and you're seeing in the news, you guys, it's making its way into the American cities. It's already here, but how they're releasing and confirming the information is very methodical. It's like a very controlled, a controlled leak type of thing. Okay. And so if they're controlling the leak of people, of viruses being confirmed, as far as the coronavirus, like in Sacramento, it's just the latest one that I've seen, and all from points all in between, you know, I already know it's here in Ohio. Have they confirmed it? No, but there's so many people that have been sick out here, and I don't know how many have actually been to, you know, to China, but they did test a few down there in Miami County or Miami City or whatever down in southern Ohio, but they tested negative. But you can there's false negatives all the time. You know, you can test negative one day and test positive the next day after. It just depends upon your biochemistry. You know, because you can double up and triple up your antibodies one day after you don't have as many that will trigger a positive, because those conditions on the test are based upon a certain amount of antibodies and things that are present, and then they can actually double and triple, you know, a couple days later. So who knows if they're following those that test negative? I mean, sorry, but if you've been exposed to the coronavirus or been in the vicinity of it, you have it. It's just a matter of how your biochemistry is going to exhibit it. So it's already, if there's any suspect cases or someone has been in the region and they're, you know, they tested negative according to the news, it's already in your environment. Okay, so, you know, the Jilly Juice seriously is, I mean, for those that are not strong enough to withstand this aggressive environment, you're going to have to, with the Jilly Juice, or you roll the dice with whatever it is they give you for symptoms. And the vaccine is 18 months away, if that's even something that's a possibility for some of you, considering that a lot of you have predispositions and you know that adverse reactions happen. We know that. All right. So, yeah. So, you know, no matter what, you're going to be rolling the dice. So unless you want to go and strengthen your weaknesses, you know, the Jilly Juice is going to be something that is going to be the answer for those that understand what it takes to do it. And we have now debunked the whole healthier salt in the pink salt world. We have debunked everything in the allopathic and the holistic. You know, there is a place for everything on a temporary basis, but the allopathic holistic expect you to be on their protocols indefinitely until you pass away. And that's not the purview of the Jilly Juice world, because you don't have to take yourself back to a single-celled organism as if you hadn't earned to be where you are today. All of you have earned your place in this world as far as a multi-celled advanced form, advanced life form. And to take yourself back to that single-cell organism, back into the earth again, where, you know, death is the final energy transfer, you don't deserve that. But people will promote that. People will hope that happens for them. People's religions are predicated upon the last final energy transfer because they think that the next place is better. Hey, fine. If you want to go back and say, oh, I don't believe in reincarnation. I don't care what you believe in. It's still cycle. Beliefs I don't give a shit about what you believe in. Energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted and transferred. So if you want to keep the energy in your body, then you put up your electric fence and you back it up with some nutrition and probiotics, like real nutrition, not some bullshit nutrition. You get these little diets and everything, but real nutrition. And you have to go through the healing process. You have to feel pain. You have to feel electricity in your body through the Jilly Juice type of stuff. Okay? So, you know, if you don't want to feel any kind of life in your body, then you allow yourself to go back to that single-celled organism and start all over again, assuming you get picked up by someone or something that's willing to conceive you, and then you start the process all over again. But I don't care if you don't believe in reincarnation. I don't care about any of your beliefs. It still comes down to science that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be converted and transferred. And so, yes, when people have children, they are transferring their energy onto that child, and then that child will suck the life out of the parent for however long that the parent will let them. And the parent can either regenerate from all of that parasitic activity from their child, or they allow themselves to go back to that single cell organism, and the roles will reverse, and then the child's taking care of the parent until the parent has that final energy transfer, which is called the death process or death. I mean, that's pretty simplistic. Oh, I know it doesn't align with your beliefs, your religion, whatever. I don't really care. I'm trying to promote life. Okay? I'm not trying to promote death. I don't believe people should die. Death happens, yes. I mean, for the white salt to even happen, okay, from the pink salt to the white salt to even happen, it came on the heels of the whole coronavirus BS. So, you know, some of you are enjoying your death process. You are making fun of your death process, but you're doing nothing about actually electrifying your fence and building up the hey, Nadine, building up the cells and nutrition with the white salts, with the probiotics, and feeling and healing. Some of you are embracing your death process. You're making fun of your cancer. You're making fun of dying when people around you are depending upon you. I don't get why people promote death. I really don't. I don't get why people like death or why they believe in it as far as their religion. I don't get it. It's very difficult for me to even take anyone seriously that just thinks that their life is basically worthless, that they have nothing to offer to their child, to their family, to the world. They think that they are just basically expendable. That's what I don't get. But I want people in my group, but I also want them to understand this information. So that's why I don't want my members inviting people that I don't know have at least made the effort to find my information, put down $9 US dollars or $19.95 for the paperback, have the freaking primer that I'm going to be updating with more information. The next book is going to be called like The Evolution of Jilly Juice Protocol. And it's going to be, you know, can humans live indefinitely despite the environment? That's going to be basically the title of the book. It's going to be straightforward. I don't believe anyone should die. Most of all, not anyone that in my world that I see that can offer something to their child that needs your guidance, can offer something to your husband or wife that needs you around because you have made this contract together to be, you know, for their rich or for poor, till death do you part, and hopefully you don't die pretty soon. But I don't think embracing your cancer or anything like that and accepting your cancer and saying that, hey, this is my lot, this is what I'm going to deal with, I don't think embracing it is really the way to go. But that's not for me to decide. But still, I don't agree with it. But whatever, it doesn't matter what I think. But the whole point of the Jilly Juice world is to create a new society that doesn't embrace death and cancer and disabilities, that will embrace a whole person that has full potential to be the best they can be, and to give something to society and offer some to society that maybe society hasn't seen before. Okay? Give some kind of hope to your kid that they don't have to end up like you. Something. You know, when children see their parents are loving that they're dying, you know, what do you think what kind of hope is going to give that to the child? When a child sees their parents are divorcing, you think they're going to really revere marriage? When a child watches their parents die, you think that they're going to love life when they think that that's pretty much what's going to happen for them? Oh, well, I'm going to die pretty soon, so why even bother? My dad died at 50. My dad died at 60. Oh, my parents got divorced, so why even bother getting married? What kind of example are we showing our children when we allow our bodies to go to shit, when we have a possibility to actually make it better? So, you know, I mean, this next book that I'm writing is going to be a revision of the Jilly Juice protocol with all the new ingredients. The ratios are going to still stay the same, and there's going to be other stuff. Everything that I've ever talked about. And I will still have the Jilly Juice protocol in there with the graphs that are in there now, but you're going to see why it is. You're going to see my actual evolution during this protocol. Okay, you're going to see that there's a place for modern medicine, there's a place for man-made law, and there's a place for natural law, with natural law always trumping man-made law. But you have to follow the right rules to have the indefinite life, or you go back down to that single cell organism called the death trajectory or indefinite death, with that final energy transfer called death. And who wants to go there? That's what happens to people that are in hospice. They have nothing left because they let their body go to crap. And they didn't understand pain, they didn't understand the salt, they didn't understand anything about the J juice. They wanted some quick fix that they weren't willing to work for. And that's what I see in people that see my stuff, but they're like, oh no, she's stupid, she's not, you know, whatever. They'd rather work for the death and get all the sympathy than really truly just sit down and make themselves heal and feel. Okay? But I think people get a lot of mileage out of promoting their death process. They get a lot of mileage out of saying, oh, I'm going to get this chemotherapy, I'm going to do this. Okay, fine. Go get your chemotherapy. You know, you're hunting for likes, you're hunting for all these things. And I'm just like, ugh. No, I don't have a lot of patience for people who promote their own death process. I don't. You know, I'm watching a lady right now that is going in for more chemotherapy because she's having complications because the environment is so aggressive. These people who have cancer, they're fighting cancer. The clock's ticking. Oh yeah, and Connie Glazier says, I'm so excited for your new book and hardly contain myself with anticipation. Yeah, my new editor, she's awesome. You know, my writing has gotten better, but I do have a lot of run-on sentences, and I do make typos here and there, and that's fine. And she will kind of like glean out what I'm trying to say because it's not completely to the point. So you'll love it now because she knows what she's doing, and I'm very happy. And so, you know, she's definitely gonna get the book for free. I swear. I would love to meet her too for in person. I will one point. But yeah, so my next book is really going to just give people, I mean, even if without the book, those of you that are watching my Facebook, you really shouldn't be embracing death. But this environment is so aggressive that the people who are dealing with cancer disease and chronic illness, you're rolling the dice right now. Don't wait for my next book to then say, okay, I'm going to do it. Make the fucking decision to live. If not, you'll roll the dice out there. And a lot of you are rolling the dice, okay? Or you get hit by the coronavirus and you get taken down several notches. Because before the coronavirus, you're systematically taken down every, a notch or so every year. But this coronavirus is like, 5 or 10 years in one freaking virus of being taken down a notch, and who knows if you have anything left the next year. Because people are getting reinfected. The body's not recognizing the antibodies. And so there's another antibody storm because they don't have the immunity, and they're getting reinfected and taking down another notch and another notch. And it's attacking testicles, it's attacking lungs, it's attacking people with their vital organs. Okay, and if you're not going to strengthen your vital organs, see you later. Nice knowing you, and I hate that. So it's already here on American soil. It's just a matter of, have you been hit by it? Have you been hit by a combination of it and the flu? So yeah, I mean, the next portion I'm going to be writing about is like current geopolitics. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I mean, my politics, conspiracy world, holistic, and the protocol. So I'm going to give a little introduction to, as far as the world, and taking down several levels down to then me, and then what transpired the protocol, to then the power of the cabbage, water, and salt, going into those details. And then going into the salt fears, the miscommunication of pain and energy, the pain energy. People are misconstruing what that actually means, and they're trying to anesthetize themselves. And then the healing symptoms, predispositions, and all of that stuff, what you're going to possibly expect, and the whole thing with poop and DNA methylation, and why people are basically asphyxiating themselves because they have so much poop in their body, to waterfalls and autophagy, and then and then you're going to see everything that I've ever talked about. And then Carolyn Benjamin says, hey, Jillian, 2 thumbs up for the white salt day number 1, 4 cups on an empty stomach, followed by 4 cups of water. Waterfalls came within 45 minutes. Juice absolutely smelled and tastes better. Raring to do the next session on an empty stomach upon awakening in the morning. Thank you for your persistence and blessing in humanity. Absolutely, Carolyn. Absolutely. You're welcome. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to go through all the stuff that we've ever talked about in my, because I do introduce about in the beginning of the book about biodiversity, and it's really just simplified. Everything is made up of viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, parasites, and protein. And then you have the fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals. Okay? And so, when your life is built up by the viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and parasites, and protein, and then you reach a relevant maturity, and then you have the fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals that are fluctuating based upon the environment, internal and external. you can keep that homeostasis where you're constantly adjusting, but it's easy to adjust and adapt to the environment. Then what people have to understand is the death process is when your body has so many imbalances that you're not adapting correctly. Then the viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, parasites, and protein take you right back down to the earth again. But you don't go there. And that's why I talk about the parasites in reproduction and fertility, and then parasites in death and dying and cancer. They all have a place when you're reproducing and you're born and when you die. And so this is gonna be so like clean and so easy to understand, and there's only a few things that you have to know. And then I will explain the Jilly Juice protocol. Sugar, what are you doing? Sugar, what are you doing? She's probably rubbing her back right now. It's cold outside. Let me see. What are you? You stop rubbing your butt on the back of the bed. She's butt rubbing right now. She's getting off on the. She's getting off on the bed. So yeah, sugar is there. But anyways, but that's how easy life is when you break everything down to viruses, bacteria, fungi, and protozoa, parasites, and protein. That's the building blocks of life that builds you up. And then you have the fatty acids, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals as like the homeostasis that you have to maintain. And then when you start getting all of those imbalanced, then you go back to the viruses taking you out. Well, you go back to the viruses like you met them in the beginning, the bacteria, the fungi, the protozoa, the parasites, and the proteins. And then they will take you down. But you don't have to be taken down by your environment because you are the environment as long as you keep everything well balanced. That's what's going to be in this book. But it took 4 freaking years to get to this point. 4 years of dealing with so much bullshit. Lordy. Google is trying to call me. All these damn scams, you know? I tell you what. Google should not be calling me. But anyways, so you guys have to understand that healing takes a lot of energy. And when you have so many heavy metals and so many predispositions and so many imbalances, you got to deal with that and rectify those. And you need tremendous amount of energy to do that. And when the energy is being impeded by heavy metals and other things in your environment, then you have to then go to straight source. And that's why the salts changed. That's why a lot of things have changed. Okay? And so it's just reconfiguring everything, understanding that if we're going to go from the pink salt to the white salt, and then we're not dealing with distilled water by taking out minerals when minerals are actually in the pink salt, then you can then do tap water that has minerals, then the white salt with the 1% anti-caking agent, and then you have the cabbage and the kale, and then you have the air, food, and water with all the other minerals and nutrients and whatever else and elements. And then you are getting a recipe that is going to energize everything, and you're going to have to feel pain. You can call it healing, you can call it whatever the hell you want, but I have no idea what you guys understand. You know, some of you have so many predispositions, you think that the Jilly Juice and the white sauce can heal you faster. I don't know. You could have 1,000 issues. You could be 600 pounds with a bad heart, bad lungs. And will the Jilly Juice from the pink salt to the white salt heal you faster? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Relative to what? I don't even know what you did to begin with the J juice with the pink salt. I have no idea. So when somebody asks me, are you heal it faster? Is it going to make you better? Is it going to do this and do that? I have no idea. You could be 600 pounds with major predispositions, and you're just You're still only doing this much because you're too afraid to heal. So that's why I don't tell anybody what to expect. But the science is there as far as the energizing force around from the pink salt to the white salt. So you tell me when you do the J juice, what kind of energy is being exhibited when you drink the juice. You tell me, give me a testimony. Don't make me give you a testimony about the J juice because I already have. But is my experience going to be exactly the same as your experience? No, because I have different biochemistry than you. That's why I don't tell anybody what to expect. If you have predispositions and you know your own medical history, you'll know what you'll have to deal with. I can't, and even in the book, I was thinking like, should I mention like the whole regenerating bones and regenerating, organs and all that? Well, you know what, when you are tapping into indefinite life, right, and you're getting back to whatever you're supposed to be, all of that's going to be assumed. All of that's going to be assumed that if you're missing a digit, yeah, maybe it'll probably grow back, but I can't promise you. Like I can't promise you what you're going to get, what kind of expectation you're going to get. If you're missing a thyroid, if you're missing a gallbladder, missing anything, it's to be expected that the body is going to go back to the intelligence of what it was meant to before it was missing those organs, before those epigenetics. But I can't tell you if you're going to regrow your arm, leg, or regrow an organ. The possibility is there, but can I promise you that? But I mean, in my first book, I do mention that the body has the ability to regrow because of osteoclasts and osteoblasts. But what's the point? It's not something that I want to focus on, the specifics of people's situations. That's a different thing. Me saying that the Jilly is gonna cure your cancer or reverse your cancer. Why don't you tell me the healing process you have, and if you happen to have cancer, if you happen to be missing an organ or a limb or whatever else, then you report on it. But you have to do the juice to do it. And the juice is not going to just focus on your cancer. It's not just going to focus on your missing organ, limb, and lungs, or whatever the hell that's wrong with you. It's not going to just focus on one or two things. It's going to do a full body freaking reset, whatever that looks like. It's not going to discriminate on the things that you wanted to focus on because you're focused on your missing organ. You're focused on your missing limb. What happens if the J juice doesn't address that until like 5 years later? Because you have 100 other things you got to deal with. When you have a 600-pound person that's missing an arm or missing a leg, you think they're going to regrow their leg in the next year and a half? Probably not, because they got 600 pounds to work through. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of issues. That's a lot of fatty acid they have to release. It's a lot of freaking juice they have to drink. So I'm not going to mention the specifics. Okay? I'm just going to say that there is an intelligence. You're supposed to have 2 arms, 2 legs, a liver, vital organs, all these things. And if you happen to be missing them, then okay, you tell me what the juice has done for you. And that's what I got dinged with by the Federal Trade Commission, is I was mentioning specific situations, specific diseases, specific situations, as if I was some kind of doctor, and I'm not. And I never claimed to be, but I'm trying to speak to the people that I came from, and that was the only way that I knew how to speak. Now I've learned how to speak in a different way. And so can humans live indefinitely? Well, that's going to be the ultimate. If humans can live indefinitely, then obviously then all the cancer, disease, chronic illness, missing limbs, organs, and whatever are going to be addressed in some way. I don't imagine that if you're going to live indefinitely, that the body is going to want to have you miss your finger or have you miss, an organ. Okay, so all of that's going to be addressed if the intention is to live indefinitely. So that's the angle I'm going to be taking. I'm not going to be compartmentalizing and focusing on specific symptoms. If that is your focus, on specific symptoms and specific diseases and specific cancers, then you've missed the whole point of J juice. If you're not willing to drink the J juice because you want to prolong your life to potentially indefinitely, which means that everything has to be addressed at some point, I don't know when. If that's not your focus, then you're looking for somebody to manage your symptoms, and that's not the J juice. You have to focus that you want to live indefinitely, and then everything that is wrong with you, whatever it is, will get addressed. Okay? And that is the evolution of J juice. We are not the holistic allopathic world that compartmentalizes your body and treats it as if it was separate. The J juice is about the whole, it's about the universe, it's about the connections of everything, everything in your environment, all the food that I ate today. I had like corn chips with some cheese, some queso cheese. Okay. It's not in the protocol, but whatever. I mean, with the white salt, you probably could eat off the diet and not make a big difference, but that's fine. But all of that is just different forms of fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals. Okay? And, you know, and even the fungi, the viruses, the bacteria, protozoan, protein can eat all that too. Because you see, fungus grows, mold grows on food that's left out for a long time. So everything that you eat is something that viruses and bacteria and fungi and protozoa and parasites and proteins all have some kind of relationship with. Okay, your body is made up of viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, parasites, and protein. The food that you eat is all of that, and then everything, and also the fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals. Okay, those are all then the biochemistry. And that's as simple as it's going to get. It can't get any simpler than that. You need water, you need air, you need salt, you need the elements on the periodic tables. This is your environment. And that's as simple as you're going to get. You can't get any simpler than this. So the whole point of JJ's is to simplify everything so you don't get lost in the programming, in all the words, in all the people's perceptions of the words and perceptions of what's going on in your body, mind, and spirit, and all the stories and the allegories and the marketing. Oh my God, the marketing is like reading different Bibles out there on perceptions of life and death. We've thrown away all of the brainwashing, and let's get down to science and simplification. Okay, so when chemicals and heavy metals and minerals and trace minerals are basically all the same thing, the words are based upon how it's being used and the intention. Oh, the chemicals, fear the chemicals, fear the minerals. Well, salt is a mineral. Fear the heavy metals. Well, not really, but the salt is the energizing force to allow the body to purge out what it does need and leave the rest and absorb what it does need. That's why salt is so important, because it is your body's electricity. It is the force that powers your house to keep the pipes moving, to keep the air flowing, to keep the lights on. I didn't have electricity the other day for 2 hours. Ooh, I was tripping out. That's the day that I said, okay, I have some infrastructure problems. So I built a fire because I didn't want it's cold out right now. I mean, it's been cold. It's really cold. And I knew yesterday it was going to be cold. And when you have 2 hours with no heat, I'm hoping that the pilot light doesn't go out, because I didn't know how this all was affecting my first time really, owning a house and everything. So I didn't know how this shit works. Oh, my husband. Hold on. Hey, honey, I'm on Facebook Live. Can I call you back? All right. Bye. I don't know how that stuff works. So I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't have to relight the pilot light. I hope this doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. But no, I just got a bunch of wood we had a bunch of wood sitting on the side. I got more bunch of wood, right there at the door. I brought some in the house, and I just made that fire. We had no starter, so I knew kindling and I knew paper and all that stuff. And I knew, okay, fire needs oxygen, it needs this. I'm like, okay, what happens if infrastructure came down? Would I be able to handle it? Probably. And so I built that fire and maintained the temperature of the house of 73 and 74 degrees. And then 2 hours later, AEP said, okay, we're going to turn the lights back on. And so, so that's the thing, is you need heat, you need electricity, you need the salt. It's the conductor. You need the water. All of that is needed in your house and in your body. And if you have a low sodium diet and then you don't have the right nutrients, the right minerals, and you haven't fixed the weaknesses, and you're playing with your hormones and doing the drugs and the alcohol and the sex, and you're playing with the stories and trying to promote your MLM stuff, you're completely lost, like super lost. And you will succumb to the environment because you don't have what it takes, because you don't have the protection, definitely don't have the salt and the right nutrients to back it up. and you're lost in all the stories and all the marketing and all the distractions that are out there. The Netflix, which is fine. Everybody likes to be distracted, but you really have to pay attention to, number one, your body, mind, and spirit. And if you don't, then what's the point of you giving off your stories and your MLMs and all your other crap that you're doing? It's just going to be something very temporary. Your last hurrah. Okay? So that's why I don't want people to enter into my group until I know they understand. And they have the book, which means when you buy the book, you know, you have an understanding. Some have left my group because I know they've been on my Facebook for a while that I see that are serious. Okay. So I know a lot of you have been on my Facebook ever since freaking the 60,000 person group. And you just haven't made it, you haven't sent me the receipt, or you haven't made, you know, the effort really, and I'm okay with that. I'm not going to make you wrong. You guys have stuff going on, so I will allow some people in my group that haven't given me the proof, but don't invite your friends, because I don't know who your friends are. I know you're like, oh, they're my friend, but oh, this person be a candidate. It's not for you to decide. They decide if they're a candidate, not you. If they decide they're a candidate for the J juice, then guess what? They'll send me the receipt. But don't invite your friends, because you don't know if they're a candidate, because they could be just a looky-loos and really not serious, and they just want to be like, oh, making fun. If somebody's serious, they put their money where their mouth is. Okay? So don't add anybody to my group because they haven't put their money where their mouth is. You don't make the decision for somebody else. John Coronado made an interesting point today. Not that I agreed with it, but he's like, oh, I don't get it why people are willing to down their cherry cokes and all that. And I'm drinking the J juice and all that, and I don't understand why they're not doing. It's like, because it's not for you to decide. You have to exemplify why they should be doing the juice. You can't make people, and you can't say they're a candidate. You can't say that they should be doing the juice. No, you take care of you. It's not up to you to force somebody or ram this down anybody's throat. This juice is not going to taste good no matter what. If you have if you are stuck on the sweet, and you have really no reason to change your life, you're going to smell the J juice. You're going to be like, forget it. Screw you. And the J juice now smells better on the white salt. But no matter what, if somebody is not ready to change their biochemistry, the J juice, even with the white salt, is not going to taste good. So that's why I'm glad I changed the salt from the pink salt to the white salt with those that are already doing the juice, because they can see the difference. Imagine me trying to introduce the white salt way in the beginning. There's be no, first of all, I would get the flack from everybody, which I already did anyways, but I got flack from fucking Dr. Phil, flack from everybody and their mother. This juice would never have gotten off the ground if I hadn't gone to the pink salt to give somebody some kind of satisfaction that I did kind of bend to somebody's will, like the holistic industry. But now you see the difference between the white salt and the pink salt. It's probably going to smell bad or taste bad to somebody anyways in the beginning, but at least now you can be the example. Okay, but I don't think I could have sold the white salt with the J juice way back in the beginning. I don't think so. Because even the holistic industry was demonizing the white salt. So I couldn't even get the buy-in from them. But I used the holistic industry as a stepping stone. And now I could say, see you later, it was nice knowing you. You better evolve or die off with the rest over there in the allopathic. Just like I used Alex Jones as a stepping stone. Okay, now you better evolve, Alex Jones. But he's not going to evolve. He's going to have fun with whatever he's doing. But that's the evolution of the J juice, is that we use the pink salt as a stepping stone. So no matter what, your friends are not going to find the J juice attractive unless they see your results. And even then, that's not even going to be a deciding factor. They're going to have to want to live and understand the science behind this. And if they don't, you know what? The Georgia Guidestone says from 7 billion to 500 million. There are people on this earth that really don't give a shit about their health, their body, mind, or spirit. They don't care about their kids. Some people don't. I know people that don't care about their kids. And it's not for you to decide if they should or should not. You let them do what they do. You take care of you. I have friends that won't even do this. I can't ram this down their throat. I've mentioned it, and then they get all offended and tell my husband. And my husband goes like, what the hell? You're introducing this to people and they're not ready for it. Oh, well, okay. And I'm gonna just shut up. So then I'm like, okay, well, It is what it is. But that's the thing. That's the reality that I live with. And I have to shut up about this because nobody wants to hear it. So, you know what? Listen to them. Let people expire. Let them have their own path. Whatever it is. You be the example. If they like what if they like what they see and they like what they hear, then they will ask you. They will get the book. They will send me the receipt. They will be in the group. And that's a candidate. Okay? That's how it works. So it is what it is. But I gotta go. I got things to do. I got stuff to write. I took a nap this afternoon, drank a little coffee, and I'm ready to write. And you guys have a great night. Thanks for listening. Bye.